So, if you've been working out in any health club facility, any gym for an extended period of time, a year, few years, then I'm sure you've noticed something that I've noticed, not just in my times as a member of a health club, but also somebody who used to manage them as well. So, this is something that I've seen over and over again with hundreds of people. And that is somebody who works out consistently, but over the years, you don't see any changes at all with their physique. This could be somebody who may be overweight, somebody who may be obese, but this could also be somebody who, relatively speaking, you would say is in shape. Specifically with men, you may see the guy who has big shoulders, maybe a broad chest, big arms, but they also have a lot of fat that they're carrying in their midsection, a lot of fat that they're just carrying on their gut. And you would think after working out for so many years that they would have made improvements in this area. And I'm not saying this to criticize those type of people because for many years myself, I was one of those people. I was the type of person who others would come up to me and ask me about my fitness routine, or people in the gym would say, "Hey, joking around, trying to get like you." But I wasn't in the type of shape that I wanted to be in. I was someone who was working out in the gym 3 to 5 days a week and not making a lot of strides on my general physique. And that's because it doesn't just come down to how often you're getting into the gym and how hard you're working in the gym. Of course, you can have some changes in your physique depending on how you're coming in, but ultimately, it's going to come down to how are you eating, what type of diet are you on, and how consistent are you with that diet. The difference between people who are going to the gym and people who are going to the gym and seeing a drastic change in their appearance all comes down to what they're putting in their mouth, how they're eating. So if you're not disciplined in that area, there's a chance you're just not going to see the changes that you're thinking you're going to get by just working out. And I say this so that you don't waste your time. You don't have to be working out for 2 or 3 years before you make this realization. Start keeping this at the forefront of how you choose to define yourself as not just somebody who works out, but somebody who takes pride in honoring their body, understands the gratitude of what you have, something that many people wish they had, especially if you're healthy, especially if you're able, especially if you have no problem working out in the gym consistently and you're able to do that. If you're just in that space alone, there's many, many people who wish they were in your shoes. So be humbled by that information and know that you have something special and it's worth taking care of to the best of your ability. If you could start honing in on how many calories you're taking in each day, how much protein you're taking in each day, then you're going to see that you will separate yourself from all of these other people in the gym. Now, there's a lot of different trains of thought when it comes to exactly how many calories you should be taking, how much protein you should be taking. And people love debating about this and nitpicking at every detail. And there's always that person who wants to come in with something that's totally different than what everybody else is saying, because that will allow them to create some form of favorable contrast, and maybe they could use that to get some attention or just throw their opinion into the field. But the truth is, we don't have to be scientific with these understandings. If you're in a phase where you're trying to put on muscle, then you're just going to want to come in a little bit above the calories that you would consume for daily maintenance. And you could always look these up with your energy expenditure calculators. There's so many online. Just look one up. You'll be able to see how many calories it is that you should be having every single day. And once you have this number, you could shoot for a few hundred over that if you're in a phase where you're trying to put on some mass or gain some muscle, or come in underneath that if you're trying to not lose weight. A lot of people conflate these terms because weight could be something that can come from different areas of our body. We could be losing fat, which is what we're wanting to aim for, but we could also be losing muscle, which is something that we want to avoid in that process. So I think it's better to be specific and understand that it's just the fat that we're wanting to lose. So if you're lifting weights, you're doing your part in letting your body know that you're going to need this muscle throughout this process. Remember, working out is just taking advantage of our body's amazing ability to adapt to different circumstances. When we're lifting weights and we're lifting heavy, we're telling our body that we need this muscle to function on a day-to-day basis. And our body responds by holding on to that muscle. If we're able to lift a little bit heavier than what we normally do, then we're telling our body that we may need some more strength, some more muscles, and our bodies will accommodate to that. So if you're lifting weights and you're coming in a little bit under your daily caloric needs, then you're going to put yourself in the best position to maintain your muscle while removing your body fat and actually transforming your physique, actually separating yourself from, in my opinion, and again, I've seen this so many times before, I would say you're separating yourself from probably 90% of the people who are in the gym. You're, again, separating yourself from the people who, to their credit, have the discipline to come in and work out and make themselves uncomfortable by lifting weights, but they're not changing their physique. You're separating yourself from the person who comes in. Maybe they get on the treadmill and they do that for an hour whenever they come in. And I don't want to take everything away from them, because if they are in a position to just burn enough calories, very difficult, especially because once you're off that treadmill, you're done burning calories. Whereas with weightlifting, because we're tearing down our muscles, we're going to be consistently burning calories even after our workouts. But sometimes people, because at least in this one workout session, just hitting the treadmill hard, are burning a lot of calories, maybe that's enough to put them in a good deficit. So they're losing weight, but they're not having a transformation. I dealt with this myself, actually. I wasn't what you would call a cardio bunny, but when quarantine, COVID first hit and everybody was quarantined and we didn't have access to our gyms, everything was shut down, I would just end up walking every day. And I would walk 10,000, 15,000 steps a day. I mean, I was walking a lot. That was my primary form of exercise, other than maybe some push ups and some pull ups that I would just do here in the house. And I did notice that I was getting slimmer. And in this case, though, I wasn't losing body fat. I was losing mass all around. I was just essentially becoming a smaller version of what I already was, just a smaller version of myself with no form of transformation. So if you just have this understanding that if you can discipline yourself in how you're eating and you could be consistent in that endeavor, you're going to be on the track to a body transformation, which is what most people are wanting to accomplish when they go to the gym and start working out. I've always found it discouraging when I've had conversations with members after several years who were putting in the work, making in the effort, but found themselves very dissatisfied with the results that they were getting. So this is a matter of sometimes working smarter, not harder. So take those with you. I know they've made a big difference in my physique once I was able to start going into the gym, start getting serious about it, start thinking about how I can fuel my body in a way that's going to make me a better person in terms of not only my physique, but my health and my lifestyle habits. That is it for this one. If you have any questions or opinions, would like to hear what you think. So share a comment below. If you like videos like this, I would appreciate your support. Hit the like button, and I'll talk to you next time.